So after breaking my camera lens, my monitor, and my tripod after just the first video, we're finally back. Hey, I'm Will. I'm new here on YouTube and I could use your help. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and checking out my other socials where I make similar content. The links to wherever you can find me will be linked in the description. Please check it out. Now, fair warning, this video is going to cover some more serious topics, but we're starting off light with the illustrious career of Magic Johnson. At only 31 years of age, the pinnacle of his career, Magic Johnson was forced to retire. In 12 seasons, Magic managed to win 5 championships with 3 finals MVPs, 3 regular season MVPs, 12 All-Star games, winning the MVP of that game on 2 separate occasions, 9 All-NBA first teams, and for those who are familiar with his career, an obvious Rookie of the Year. While on his way to building the greatest basketball resume of all time, Magic Johnson had his career cut short. The innovative leader of the Showtime Lakers in the 80s was forced to retire after his diagnosis with the HIV virus in 1991. When asked about his decision to announce his retirement, Magic is quoted as saying, "It wasn't a hard choice, because you have to remember, they didn't know a lot. I had to go on the side of caution and do what I had to do." HIV experts at the time stated that the risk of transferring the virus on the basketball court was infinitesimal, but this did not quell the worries of Magic Johnson's NBA colleagues. His former Team USA teammate, Karl Malone, was the outspoken leader of the pushback against Magic Johnson continuing to play in the league. After a successful return to the NBA All-Star Game the next year, in which Johnson played a total of 29 minutes, scoring 25 points, 9 assists, and helping the West beat the East, players from both teams came onto the court and hugged Johnson. Magic managed to trailblaze his return to the league and play with the Lakers just 5 years later. Although he held the heart of fans and NBA players alike, his skeptics remained uncertain. Magic felt that he was not accepted by his peers, and this made the competition not fun anymore. Earvin Magic Johnson was forced to officially retire the same year of his return in 1996. January 26, 2020. After concluding his stellar 20-year career in the NBA with his final 60-point performance, Kobe Bryant left the league and fans in shambles, seeing their favorite player and role model leave the league for good. The 29 other teams in the NBA held a commemorative farewell tour for the Mamba after he announced this would be his last season playing for the league. This goodbye season dedicated to one man was unprecedented and goes to show the impact and influence this basketball legend had around the world. On his final stop of this tour, the Staples Center was at max capacity, filled with celebrities and fans who wanted to celebrate the end of Kobe's long and largely successful career. Bryant managed to show glimpses of his prime self with some elite shot making against the Utah Jazz, where he concluded his career with a 60-point game. After retiring in 2016, Kobe knew he was done playing in the NBA for good and had no desire to continue basketball, and instead prioritized his passions outside of basketball and spending time with his family. Lucky for basketball fans though, Kobe Bryant had a daughter, Gianna Bryant, who was becoming a household name in the girls' basketball scene at just 13 years old. Gianna was always seen with Kobe right by her side as her coach and biggest fan. Although the Mamba had no intentions to coach after retirement, he saw being her coach as an opportunity to teach her valuable life lessons. A valuable lesson that can teach them is what it means to pursue excellence and the commitment level that comes with that. Gigi was showing promise as a basketball player, with her highlights at Mamba University going viral on Instagram. Kobe having more time for his family during retirement was a huge benefit of retirement for him, but also gave him time to make a name for himself outside of the sport. After concluding an all-time great NBA career, he began a career in the film industry. In 2018, Bryant took home an Oscar for his own animated short film titled Dear Basketball, which was a touching story narrated by him about his letter written to the Players Tribune in November of 2015, announcing his retirement. Fans always seeing Kobe, whether at his daughter's games or winning Oscars, kept him fresh in their minds, and his supporters were witnessing their favorite players continue success in other facets of his life. Kobe wanted to be remembered as a player who never wasted a moment, never wasted a day. He was proving to be a person who never wasted a moment, never wasted a day. The Black Mamba is considered to be the hardest working player of all time, with the Mamba mentality. and this type of work ethic is reflected in his accomplishments during retirement. Bryant was born in Philadelphia, where his father, Joe Bryant, spent the first 4 years of his basketball career as a member of the 76ers between 1975 and 1979. On January 25, 2016, Kobe Bryant was none other than the Philadelphia 76ers arena to support LeBron and the Lakers as he surpassed Kobe's all-time record in scoring. The two shared a touching moment once the record was broken, in which fans of both players were united, and everyone was glad to see the two legends together. Little did we know, this would be the last we saw of Kobe Bryant. The next morning, January 26, 2020, at 9:06 a.m., Kobe Bryant, Gigi Bryant, and 7 others were in a fatal helicopter crash in Calabasas. Kobe Bryant fans all around the world were devastated, and the NBA players didn't even want to continue playing after the news broke. The following games after Kobe's passing all took a moment to recognize his passing, and later the new All-Star Game was modeled after him, and the All-Star Game MVP was named after him. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. The biggest what-ifs in NBA history. Drazen Petrovic was a 6'6" shooting guard who cemented himself as a legend in only 4 NBA seasons. Drazen Petrovic was born in Croatia in 1964. He first picked up a basketball because of his older brother, who turned pro when Drazen was only 10 years old. The entire family all played basketball, but Drazen was the best and bound to become a professional player himself. Drazen finally made his way to the NBA after years of success dominating different European leagues at the young age of 18. Real Madrid signed him to what was at the time the largest contract in European basketball history, but it was worth it for them as he was leading his teams to championships, scoring 60 points some nights. In 1986, the Portland Trail Blazers took a chance with Petrovic, the last pick in the draft. Although he was royalty back home, dominating in Europe, NBA teams saw European players as worse than them. Petrovic was assigned to the end of the bench in Portland, which took him by surprise after the displays he was putting on around the world outside of the US. Eventually he was traded to the Nets, where he would work tirelessly to return to his level of prestige he was familiar with. Drazen's stat averages skyrocketed in New Jersey, where he blossomed into the leader of the team. He averaged 21 points on 50-40 splits, which was much rarer at the time. The Nets finally returned to the playoffs under the lead of Petrovic after a 6-year drought. In the playoffs, Drazen managed to improve his stat totals by now averaging 26 points on similar efficiency. The following season, after New Jersey's first playoff berth in half a decade, Drazen was now averaging the 11th most points in the league on premier efficiency. When it came time to select the All-NBA players for the season, Petrovic landed a spot on the All-NBA third team, beating out players that played at the same position as him, such as Reggie Miller, Clyde Drexler, and Mitch Richmond. During the summer, Drazen returned to Croatia to play in the European League. He wished to play in front of friends and family once again, and after dropping 30 points in a win against Slovenia, Drazen decided he didn't want to wait on the plane his teammates were going aboard to return to Croatia. He instead was going to drive there with his girlfriend, which wound up being a bad decision. Under poor weather conditions, Petrovic's car got into an accident with him in the passenger seat that proved to be fatal. At the young age of 28, Drazen left a legacy of being a hard worker that could have ranked amongst the all-time greats.